everyone! Today I will be showing you a tutorial on how I animate my icons. I've gotten a few requests to do this, especially by my sister Vay. I would like to add that I will only be doing a Photoshop tutorial. I don't know GIMP or any other program that well, so if this doesn't work for you based on the program you use, I highly suggest you YouTube it or Google a tutorial for your program. For this method of animation will also help so that you don't have to animate things one by one. Like for example, if you have different color hairs and you don't have to animate them one by one. You could just do it all together one time only. So I will get into it now. For this tutorial, I'll be doing different color hairs from my shop. And I will be using this icon. What I like to do is I will make sure that my avatar just stays in one pose. You don't want to move it at all. And you just change the hair, apply changes, screenshot it, change it again, and then screenshot it. Just make sure you're not moving the character at all. Next, we're going to open it up. I have 5 screenshots I would like to use. Open. Once they're all open, I like to take the black hair first, and followed by the gray. And I will overlap them to make sure that they're both on top of each other perfectly. Like, make sure that it's not like this or slightly off. You want it to be directly on there. So I'm going to do that with all my hairs. So that it's 5 different screenshots overlapping each other. And just make sure none of them are off, otherwise it's going to look a little weird. There we go. Now they're all on top of each other perfectly. Then I'm just going to crop it, get rid of that unnecessary space. And I'm just going to change the image size to make it easier to downsize in the icon. And then I'm going to select all the layers by having the first one layer selected and then holding shift and then clicking the bottom layer. And you're going to drag them into the icon. That's in the icon. I'm going to click Control T so that this pops up, and then we're going to resize it. Just enough to fit in the icon. And make sure that we have the right angle that we're going to use to animate. Alright, this looks good to me. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn off all the other layers besides your starting layer, and you're going to keep them selected. You don't want to deselect them. If you deselect them by accident, just reselect them. But you want to have all the other layers off, otherwise it's just going to look weird, like it has this weird border on it. You just want to turn off all the other layers. So we're going to do the animation frame by frame. So we're going to go to Window and Timeline. And it'll pop up this little timeline. Down here, if it says once, you want to make sure you have it set to forever because you want this animation to loop. So we should have one frame up already. This is our beginning frame. This is where the animation will start. So you want to make sure that your animation is starting where you want it to start. So if you want to show the full head, you start at the very top of the hair. And then we're just going to go like this. So to go to the next layer, we're going to click this button right here, which is the new layer for a frame. How I like to move the avatar is I hold shift and then I move it up. That way it just goes straight up or straight down, and if you move your mouse somewhere randomly accidentally, it will still stay up or down. It won't move anywhere else. So after that, we're going to make a new layer down here. So we make our third frame. We're just going to hold shift and then go up more. Do like right here. New frame, and go up some more. And that will probably be about the end of this frame where we show the full hair. So there's two ways you can see how the animation will look. You can hit this little play button, or you can go to File, Save for Web, and then there's also a play button right here. I usually like viewing it in here because the time just looks better on it, because here it might be too fast, but here it'll show the actual time itself, the real time. So right now it's on 1 second. If you view it on 1 second, it's just going to look like this. It's too fast. So what we're going to do is we're going to select the first layer and we're going to select all of them with the shift click. To change the time, there's a little arrow right here. I usually go for about 3 seconds, so I'll do a custom time for 3 seconds. Then we're going to go back to Save for Web and view the animation. See, I think 3 seconds is good. If you feel it's too fast, you can always change the time around and do something that works best for you. Now, if you want to further your animation and make it go back up to where it originally started, we're going to make a new layer. And on your third layer, you want to see where it cuts off right here. We're going to take our last layer and go about the same area on where it roughly cut off in the third one. We're going to make a new layer and do the same thing for the second one so that they match up. So see, the second layer matches up with the sixth layer. And then we're going to do it one more time with the first layer. See, it's about roughly the same. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just needs to at least match a bit. There we go. So then, instead of the first animation we had, we now extended it so that it goes up and then down and just keeps going like that. So we're going to view it. See, so it goes down and then it goes back up again. And that's usually what I like to do for my animations. You could just do it the first way where it just goes, you know, down and then it just automatically loops back to the beginning, or you can extend it and do it this way. So now that we have the black hair, we're just going to save this. We're just going to call it black. And then to change the color without having to redo this entire animation, we're just going to go to the beginning layer right here. Since we turned off all the other layers, we're going to turn off the black layer and then switch the color. So I'm going to go to gray, and it'll change the gray in all the other frame photos. And you want to make sure that you click the first one before you change it. So we're going to go to Save for Web, and it'll have it changed right here. And you can do that with all the other hairs. There you have it. That's how I animate my icons. I hope this helped you. If you have any questions or any requests, just let me know.